Hola a todos, bienvenidos. En el video de hoy vamos a ver la novena parte del caso de TikTok Alex Calvo is Haunted. Si no han visto las primeras partes, les voy a dejar los links en la descripción para que vayan a verlas antes de ver este video. En el video anterior nos quedamos en que la medium Megan fue a visitarlo otra vez y le dijo cosas bastante interesantes. El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 15 de diciembre y es sobre el diario de Harold, el abuelo de su bisabuelo, en el que habla sobre vampiros.
He says, "In my time, I have encountered 4 different breeds of vampire. 2 that one might call common, 1 specific to a region of Moldavia, and 1 unique to itself. I imagine more exist." So he's saying that he doesn't think that all the ones that he's seen that necessarily are all of them. So the common breeds, and he puts common in quotes, can be described as such: the rats and the regals. While variation surely exists, they are for particular molds. Or, no, they fit particular molds, sorry. The rats hide in societal underbellies, preying on those in the wrong place at the wrong time. They often take to wildness like animals. They are the fabled urban monsters whispered by local children. The regals hide in the public eye. Beautiful, charming, they lure in prey from the tops of society. It is believed that at least a few sit in high positions of power. And then he goes on to say, Morden's breed, is another one I guess, is a race of vampire vastly more horrid than their more common brethren. Located in a single region of, and he scratched it out, I assume it would have been, he said Moldavia, but I don't know, he scratched it out for some reason. They are massive, winged beasts, like living demons that feed on the flesh of men, women, and children. It is believed they come not from men, but from a man-like, brutish race which quarreled with our distant ancestors. And then here is, I assume it is supposed to be like a scale sketch to show what Morden's breed look like. He goes into more detail on each and of the one that is unique, and I'll go into those in other videos.
El siguiente TikTok es del 17 de diciembre y nos enseña un poquito más sobre el jardín.
Melissa collecting rocks in the backyard in one of these little pots that belong to my grandma. They're all over the place. We keep finding them. Some are chewing up something. Hey babe, what are you doing? It's really interesting. I mean, I've talked about this yard a ton, but like the fence line is basically like a little forest that circles around the whole house.
Ok, no sé si alguno de ustedes lo haya notado, pero yo escuché en algunas partes como susurros, voces o ruidos extraños. Cuéntenme en los comentarios si ustedes también lo escucharon. El siguiente TikTok es del 22 de diciembre y habla sobre las hadas mencionadas en el diario.
Okay, the ink is a little bit more faded than in some of the other passages. I don't know what, maybe he used a different quill or pen or something, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Hopefully you can follow along. Okay. What little I know of the Fae folk comes direct from Bridget's lips to my ears. She assures me that due to her blessing, the majority of them will do me no harm. If what she claims to be is true, it is easy enough to believe. The forms I have seen take range from little people, winged women, grunting brutes, and almost demonic-looking amalgams of various animals. Bridget told the people of Gretting to leave small gifts like honey or cream. This would please those she was forced to summon and keep them in the forest. So again, like I said, she helped him deal with, seems like demonic situations for a little bit. And her way of doing this seems to be just summoning Fae, you know, to deal with it. I guess maybe Fae and demons have a antagonistic kind of relationship. She, seems to have some level, at least, she either has a very good relationship or had a very good relationship with them, and it even seems like maybe some level of control. Now, when he talks about what she claims to be, from some of the other things that I've read talking about her, there was sort of an idea, I guess the best way I could describe it is using the word avatar. Like a human representative of a divine being. She was definitely connected to that goddess Bridget, but I'm not exactly sure of the details of all that. So, hope you guys found that interesting, because I sure did.
Ok, estuve leyendo los comentarios de este TikTok en específico y encontré uno muy interesante que les quiero compartir, que dice: ¿crees que realmente tú podrías ser la reencarnación de él y que solo estás leyendo tus antiguos diarios? Nadie ha contestado ese comentario, tiene solo 13 likes, pero me pareció una idea muy interesante. No sé ustedes qué opinan de la reencarnación, es un tema que ya les he dicho me gusta mucho y creo que podría ser algo posible en este caso, aunque no estoy segura. Cuéntenme ustedes qué opinan en los comentarios. El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 24 de diciembre y habla sobre quién es Bridget. Muchos en los comentarios me estuvieron preguntando lo mismo, así que espero que este TikTok aclare todas sus dudas.
Notes in the journals of my great-grandfather Leopold talked about Bridget's blessing. It was something that his father, Harold Jr., had spoken to him about, and basically was some kind of protection. It seemed to be referencing this tree that's out here in the backyard. I'm walking over to it now. Like Megan the Medium said, like many of you even thought beforehand, it does seem possibly to be what is referred to sometimes as a fairy tree, or a fair folk tree, whatever. If you guys have been watching, you know that there's been weird stuff out here in the yard. I do believe that there is some kind of fae activity going on based on, what I've seen and what my ancestors wrote about. Now, this person, Bridget, her blessing, whether it's the tree itself or something that she did to it, seems to be central to the protection that it gives to us. I did think at first that this was only in reference to the deity Bridget, because you guys pointed out to me when I brought up those notes that that is actually a Celtic goddess. Some of you also mentioned the fact that there's also a Saint Bridget, basically from the same area. Many people think that she might be, the same deity or person, just expressed in different ways. Now, further reading, after I found the trunk and learning more about Harold's life, I've come to realize that Bridget, at least the one he was referring to, was an actual person. She was a Celtic druid, sometimes referred to as a witch. She did have incredible abilities that did relate heavily with the Fae. She was able to broker deals, communicate with them a lot. But there's also other things. Harold really strongly believed, at least later, that she was actually an avatar for this deity Bridget. That, she was a human, born human, whatever, but that she had some kind of spiritual connection to this deity, that maybe she was even actually the deity in human form. So, if that's the case, then, all bets are off on what she would be capable of doing, even when it comes to these things. So, that's what I know about Bridget so far. A really cool witch that my ancestor saved from church imprisonment, and they worked together, and she had incredible powers.
El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 28 de diciembre y habla sobre hombres lobo.
He says, "The situation with the wolves has shifted dramatically since the events in Vienna. The VF Institute's attempts at post-infection cure have pushed the affliction far beyond standard lycanthropy. The subjects metamorphosed from men covered in wolf hair, with the claws and teeth of the beasts, into towering monstrosities equal part man and beast, with large protruding maws more ferocious than anything in nature. Professor Vanderstark also tells me it is unlikely that these failures have caused any pause in the VF Institute's experiments." And he has a sketch here. He was not much of an artist, but it kind of gives you an idea. So what it sounds like is, this is the only place really that I've seen mention of the VF Institute. Though, now that I think about it, I might have seen something else that might stand for. But it sounds like something happened with, they refer to them as wolves, and they became, based on human intervention, something worse. So, You know, another name in here, Professor Vanderstark, he does come up a bit later in a few different things. Basically like his science man.
El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 29 de diciembre y habla sobre la actividad paranormal que ha habido en la casa.
I just wanted to note that it seems that doing this, reading from the Herald's journal, is kind of substantially kicking up activity inside of the house. You know, I mentioned right around Christmas that things were starting up kind of again, and it had been since I opened the trunk, which was like on Halloween, so it had been over a month. Things are going on again, you know, nothing threatening, just things moving. You know, I can hear like an adult man sounds like rummaging around upstairs when I'm in my room, and I come upstairs, you know, I always have my phone, I'm trying to capture things. Have not captured anything yet. When I do, believe me, I will upload it ASAP.
El siguiente TikTok también lo subió el 1 de enero y habla de algo muy interesante que podría ser una señal.
This cat, this like stray cat that just showed up and was hanging out with me, and then it showed up again tonight, later, so I was able to get some video, so just check this out.
And we're doing 4 air energies. Let's get air energies. Air energy. Familiar. Guardian. This is saying that you have, could be a pet, could be a random animal, or something that comes to you often. They want you to know that these animals are more than just animals. They're messengers. They have purpose.
So this cat has just shown up twice now, and it's being pretty friendly to me. So even though it looks a little bit raggedy in some ways, it does not seem wild. Oh, okay. Based on petting it, it feels kind of old, like bony. It came up here, was drinking summer's water. It's been super friendly to me.
El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 3 de enero y es sobre una puerta que se abre sola.
Yeah, I was just sitting here. The door kind of clicked open a little bit on its own, so I stood up, turned around, and started recording. After a sec, it opened up the rest of the way. I went in real quick to show that there was nobody else there. Looked around a little bit. It was pretty dark. Reviewing the video, it looks like there might be somebody sitting on the couch, so that would make it even crazier, but I can't tell. You guys tell me what you think.
El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 6 de enero y dice rosas muertas.
I was just sitting out here, you know, working on my stuff. I take Summer out every now and then to go to the bathroom, and something has been left here on the step of the house. I don't know if it was from just some fan here on TikTok or something even weirder than that, which that would be really uncool, but I don't know. This is really creepy, and it could be something worse than that. I'm just going to go ahead and show you. It's more creepy just in and of the fact that it's been placed here. It is a vase of dead roses, so I guess that is creepy in and of itself too, but I have no idea how it got here. It's just troubling to find something that was clearly placed here for me to find it. I don't know. It's just creepy. It's weird. It's freaky. I don't like it. I know enough not to bring it into the house. I'm not even going to touch it. Until at least tomorrow morning. I'm just going to leave it sitting there.
Ok, creo que urge que compre cámaras de seguridad, no solamente por el tema paranormal, sino también por su seguridad y la de su familia, porque esto está demasiado extraño. El siguiente TikTok lo subió el 10 de enero y está muy interesante porque al parecer logró comunicarse con el espíritu de su bisabuelo Leo.
Okay, I'm up here. This is the laundry room. My room where I sleep is on the other side of it. This is where I'm hearing all that noise going on. I've been up here now for a few minutes looking around after hearing the noise, and I think I've got something interacting with me. It only works so long as I keep that light off. If I turn it back on like that, it's not working. So I'm just going to show you what's been going on. It seems to make a sound to indicate positive, and it doesn't do anything for a negative, so I'm just going to go ahead. I've been interacting with it now for a little bit already, so let's go ahead. Okay. Is there somebody in the laundry room right now? Oh, shit. Okay, are you a relative of mine? An oldie? Okay. Do you mean anyone in this house any harm? Okay, no sound, that's good. Are you trying to show me something? Okay, is it something that's in the laundry room? Nothing. Is it... Okay, I pulled away for a sec because I heard what sounded like a door opening on the other side of the house, but didn't find anything. Just more of this weirdness. I'm going to try to continue. Are you still in the laundry room? That was fast. Is there something under the laundry room? Under the house? Okay. Are you Harold? Nothing. Are you Leopold? Okay, I need to go in here real quick to show that there is not somebody standing in here. Messy, dirty laundry room, but there is nobody in here. This is crazy.
Ok, no sé si lo notaron, pero se ven algunos orbes en este video. Puede ser algo muy normal en una casa antigua por el polvo, así que podría ser eso o podría ser algo paranormal. Díganme ustedes qué opinan en los comentarios. Y el último TikTok que va hasta el momento lo subió hace 2 días y habla sobre como los nahuales y doppelgangers.
So it says, possible changeling, maybe doppelganger. Donna, being in psychiatric ward, claims not people are following. He put the not people in quotes. I assume that means that, it meant something. He said, random nobodies that just seemed off. More recently, people she knows. She says they've been replaced. Something about her feels genuine. Have not, as of yet, been able to crack. My gut says changelings, mix of what I've seen, reports, and Bridget's warning. He mentions on here about wrist bruising. Placed protection rune around facility to keep her safe meanwhile. In an update, he said that Donna's sunken deeper, but I still believe her. The closer I get to this, the stranger it looks. He goes on to talk more about it. He said, when I met Donna, she was still highly cognizant. Even still, I wouldn't have believed it at all at first, if not for her wording, how she described it all. Too similar to what Harold wrote, and the bruising. Now, I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to jump into Harold's journal real quick. He wrote, we call them changelings, those that walk in the false flesh of men, pretending at being one of us for their own various infernal ends. They seem to pick lone targets, often tormenting them for months before finally taking their lives. Dispatching them has proven difficult. I believe this is due to them actually being primarily non-corporeal beings. Their victims report overpowering sensations of dread, display no other symptoms of mental derangement, and often suffer mysterious ring bruises around their wrists and horrific nightmares. The final update says she's gone, but I'm sure more than ever that she was right, and MIB interrogated family members. As you might recall in the radio interview, Leo did say that, he believed this Men in Black phenomena was just a modern version of these changelings or doppelgangers. He talked about the similarity with the various mythologies about these just off people who were, you could tell that they weren't quite people, but they were trying to pass and often, involved in some bad stuff. He was also one of the first to speak about the black-eyed kids and believed they were the same thing.
Y bueno, esa es toda la historia hasta el momento. A partir de ahorita voy a tener que esperar a que se junten varios TikToks para subir un nuevo video sobre este caso, si es que ustedes quieren seguir viéndolo. Y bueno, eso es todo por este video. Espero que les haya gustado mucho. Si les gustó, ya saben que me ayuda mucho con un like, suscribiéndose y activando la campanita. También pueden seguirme en todas mis redes sociales y si quieren nos vemos en Twitch. Gracias por el video, les mando un beso enorme y nos vemos en el próximo. Bye.